Father in heaven, we are grateful for the day. Thank you for the life that you've given us today. Thank you, Lord, for our country and for what is happening today. Thank you for the privilege of living in a country where we get to make decisions and vote. I pray, Lord, that you will bless the election. I pray, Lord, for those who are elected. I pray, Lord, for them to make wise decisions. Now, Lord, as we enter into the business of our town and our community, I pray, Lord, also that you give us grace and help us to make wise decisions. For we pray this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right. I'd like to thank everybody for coming this evening. The first thing we have is our roll call.
Town of Vidalia Board of Aldermen roll call for the regular meeting of the Mayor and Board of Aldermen dated November 8th, 2022. Alderman Betts.
Present.
Alderwoman Denby. Alderman Gardner. Alderman Probst.
Here.
Alderman Smith.
Here.
Mayor, let the record show that a quorum is present and accounted for.
Okay, thank you very much. First thing we have is, we do have a quorum. We have the minutes in front of you. Do I hear a motion we accept the minutes?
Make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Probst, second by Alderman Smith. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we can go to our CPA, Ms. Deborah Moak, to do our financial report.
Tonight's financial statements include the balance sheet as of 9/30/2022, the statement of revenues, expenditures, and changes in fund balances for the 3 months ending 9/30/22, a summary budget to actual comparison by fund, and a detailed budget to actual comparison by department. In summary, the town has combined cash in the bank of $23.6 million, included restricted funds of $20 million in the hydro fund and $1.6 million in the sales tax fund. Investments are $4.6 million, which includes the hydro reserve fund of $2.4 million and $1.5 million in the general fund, and the $705,000 of ARPA funds. Total assets are $57 million. Total liabilities are $13.7 million. The fund balance is at $43.4 million. The statement of revenues, expenses, and changes in fund balance for the 3 months ending 9/30/22 indicates combined revenue of $11.7 million, total expenditures of $12.1 million, for a negative change in net position of $413,000. Overall, total revenues are at 23% of budget, expenses are at 24% of budget, transfers in and out were at 39% of budget, for a net change in net position was at a negative 26% of budget. Hydro rebates approved by the council members in September in the amount of $2.8 million are included in these financials, which is the reason for the negative change in net position. Due to the low levels of the Mississippi River, hydropower production has decreased for the months of September and October, which will decrease the amount of hydro royalties to be received. The lease payments on the new town vehicles are not included in these financial statements. The town has received a second payment of the American Rescue Plan in October. This brings the total amount collected to approximately $1.4 million. The auditors have completed their field work and are working on the audit. Working on the audit report. The deadline to complete their audit is December 31st, 2022.
Okay, any questions of Deborah? Deborah, thank you again for that report. We appreciate it. Okay, next thing we're going to is our approval of occupational license. The only one we have this month is going to be, I'm sorry, I apologize. I got ahead of myself. At this point, we have a public comment on any of our current agenda items other than the redistricting. Has anybody got a question or comment from the public on any of the other items we have on the agenda? That's not to say you won't have maybe an opportunity to speak later, but this is usually when, if you want to have something to say about an agenda item, you can certainly do that. Does anyone so wish to do? Okay, if not, now we'll move on to our occupational license. First one we have is Miss Tiffany Marie Moras Burley, who is going to open up the House of Phoenix Yoga, which is a donation-based yoga class. It's going to be at 1644B Carter Street in Vidalia. Any questions? I hear a motion to accept.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Probst, second by Alderman Betts. I think I heard. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, the next one we have is a sign application for Casey Albick and Melinda Big Lane. It's a vinyl sign. It's going to be for the Natchez Tumbling Academy, which is at 4002 Carter Street. And you see a copy of that. It's going to be on the side of a building, I think. Yes. Is there any question on that? Hear a motion to accept?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Brent Smith. Or hear a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Betts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
And then we have one more sign application. Is there two on that? I wound up with two of those, okay. Yeah, then we have the Miss Burley, the House of Phoenix, that's her sign. It looks like a nice sign. Any questions on that? Hear a motion we accept.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Probst. Here a second.
I'll second.
By Alderman Smith. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we got to section 4, public hearing on an ordinance to adopt our redistricting plan 2022A for the town council after 2020 census and otherwise to provide with respect thereto. We're in a bit of a dilemma here because I don't think we can vote on this. For this to pass, it requires, state law requires at least 2/3 vote of your total council, and we don't have 2/3. 2/3 is 4, and we only have 3 present. Therefore, we do have to get this done by the end of the year. I can't stress the importance of this to get this done. We will probably have either a special election, a special meeting, or try it again at our next council meeting in December, which in December, holiday time, I don't want to run the risk. I need to get with you guys and to make sure we can get our council on board to get this approved. This is very, very, very important. So with that being in mind, without having the votes, I'm going to ask the council, should we table this or should we take any action or vote to table until a future time? Or since we don't have the obvious number of people to get a positive vote, what's your recommendation?
We can pass it for now and then decide at the end of the meeting.
Pardon?
Pass it for now and decide at the end of the meeting.
Pass it for now and just wait till the end to see if somebody shows up? Okay. Is y'all okay with that?
Fine.
Okay. Brent, John, y'all okay? Okay. All right, so we're going to skip over then to number,
It'd be the same one.
we're going to go all the way down to number 8, which is a public hearing on an ordinance to regulate the application and payment of rebates for the town's electric customers. And basically, before we go into a public hearing on that, what we did is with the rebates getting large, we reached out to not only attorneys, but also to the Attorney General and the legislative auditor on some things that we could legally do as far as, distributing these rebates when it deals with delinquent accounts, charged off accounts, or people that's left. What are some of the laws? So basically, this ordinance addresses all of those issues associated with the rebate. So this is a new ordinance for us. And so at this time, I'm going to kind of hear a motion to go into public hearing. Motion made by Alderman Probst, second by Alderman Betts, I think I heard. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, we're in the public hearing. Is there any comment on the handling of the rebate from the public? If not, I will entertain a motion to exit public hearing.
Make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Betts, there a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Probst. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, now we will have the board discussion vote on that ordinance to regulate the application and payment of rebates for the town's electric customers. Okay, is there any discussion before we have a motion? Okay, if there's no discussion amongst the council, do I hear a motion to accept this ordinance?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Smith, do I hear a second?
Second.
Second by Alderman Betts, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, and again, just since we're on the rebates, hopefully we will have those rebates in the mailbox before Thanksgiving, so yeah, that'd be something, be a nice little early Christmas. Okay, number 10 is board discussion and vote on approval of a resolution to grant a pre-dial servitude from the town of Vidalia to Cyra Technologies, LLC. We discussed this last time. Jay has talked a lot with Cyra's attorneys and also the attorneys with DOE, and it's good to see Peter here with Cyra Technologies. Peter Ozers is with them, and we appreciate what they're doing in our community. Jay, you want to address that? Well,
I believe Peter can add to this. Syra had been in contact with the attorneys working with the Department of Energy. This really came from the Department of Energy, that this was previously passed by the board last month, that access servitude. And the Department of Energy, as I understand, the Department of Energy's attorneys wanted more detail and lender protection in the body of the servitude, and that's really what was added. Mr. Murray reviewed those provisions and went through it. He talked to the attorneys for Syra at Key Miller, and then they were in touch with those attorneys from the Department of Energy. So this language that's in there was reviewed, approved, and edited by Mr. Murray in contact with the other attorneys. So it protects the town. It's still a non-exclusive servitude, that road's open. It just really, I think, Peter, allows Syra to have that access on the back gate that those Department of Energy wanted to see. Is that correct? That's correct.
okay. Any questions from the council? Okay, can I hear a motion that we approve the resolution to grant pre-dial servitude from the town of Vidalia to Syra Technologies?
I'll make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Smith, or a second? Second by Alderman Probst. All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay, thank you all very much. This was something that was a question about whether or not to bring it up, but just, you know, the LMA attorney says it's probably best just to go ahead and get approval, but, you know, the town is sitting on a lot of cash from hydro monies and stuff, and we have got to get that invested to make it go to work for the town. And this is, we're going to have board discussion and vote on approval of agreement with Louisiana Asset Management Pool. And basically what that is, that was established by legislature, and it's got billions of dollars in this pool. And John Schroeder, who is our Secretary Treasurer for the state, recommends it. I have been talking to them for about 2 years on parking a lot of this monies in there. It's like a money market account. It has great rates. It's only available to municipalities. It's called LAMP. You've probably heard of it, Louisiana Asset Management Plan. And it's really, every mayor that I know in the state parks their extra money in there. And right now, sitting in the bank, we're not getting very much return, if any. And right now, I think the rate on it is around anywhere from 3 to 4%, which is an excellent rate. All we do is put it in and park those monies. We need it. The next day we call. There's no penalty. There's nothing like that. And it's secured and backed by the same securities that banks secure our public money with. It's the same security, so it's really safe investment option for us, and I think it'll earn us. If we move that, it's going to earn us an additional $500,000 a year in just interest alone, on the monies that we're going to put into it. And hopefully later we'll also be addressing the royalty money, and hopefully we can maybe, if we liquidate debt and then invest this other money, we'll probably net the town about $1 million in savings and investments. So that's going to be substantial for us to move forward with that. So this is really, I would like to get y'all's approval for that, to move it in there. Deborah said, you know, when I first went to Deborah and Jay, said, hey, look, I'm going to move this money and get the account set up. And I appreciate them, you know, saying, hey, look, well, let's run it by council, let's check into it. And they did. They found out what, you know, the same thing. Deborah, you listened today, you know, on a seminar with Theo, and it's just really, really something we need to do. So is there any questions on that? I'd be glad to. But we'll probably be, if you want to know the amount, we'll be probably putting anywhere from $17 to $19 million in that. So, and right now, I think that fund has in there, several $1 billion in it. So, okay. So can I go ahead and get approval to do that and to start investing our money with
I'll make a
LAMP?
motion.
Motion made by Alderman Smith, second by Alderman Betts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank y'all very much. All right, board discussion and vote on recommendation by the Town of Vidalia Planning and Zoning Board to approve development of River Bend subdivision second development. And this is a new development in town. I think it's a total of 21 lots. We have Pat Galloway here with Concordia Bank and sits on the Planning Commission. Pat, you want to come speak a little, or speak a little bit to that? They've met several times on this, and
I'm drawing a plat if anybody want to look at it. But we were in favor of it.
okay. So they did a lot of look on it. I think they. So does anybody have any questions on it from council or even the public? Because it's in a total of 21 lots. It's And these are going to be much needed lights for home sites, I hope, here right now, as quick as they can get them. 21, okay. All right. Is there any questions? All right, well then, can I have a vote for approval and accepting the recommendation by the Vidalia Planning and Zoning Board to approve the development of Riverbend subdivision, second development?
I'll make the motion.
Motion made by Alderman Betts, I hear second by Alderman Probst. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Thank you guys very much for the work y'all done and did on this. Excited to see this going. Okay, introduction of an ordinance to amend the employee handbook for the town of Vidalia. This is an ordinance, we're just introducing it tonight. There's no action to be taken. Loran Scott, our HR lady we recently hired, is working with Pi and Jay, and we're going through this, and we will be getting you any revisions that we're looking at. We're going to try to do this, and keep this on the forefront of revising these personnel manuals and getting them to y'all to let y'all look at them. So anything that we're looking to revise, you'll be getting a highlighted revision copy here pretty soon. So this is just an introduction of that ordinance to move forward. Okay, next thing we have is board discussion and vote on Vidalia Police Department personnel. We have Joyce here, if he wants to introduce we have one, Brenna Middleton, as a secretary, and she's here. Brenna, it's good, nice to have you. Okay. And also Matthew Hutzel is Matthew didn't here though. Okay, so.
He went to work tonight, he was offshore.
Okay.
He just be reserved.
All right, so do you have those? Any discussion? And can I hear a motion we approve these two hires?
Make a motion.
Motion made by Alderman Probst. I hear a second.
Second.
Second by, I think, Alderman Betts made it. All in favor say aye. Aye. Okay. Next, Joe, if you want to come on forward, we'll start board discussion on proposing an ordinance to allow and regulate golf carts to be driven in residential areas.
I just want to propose this. Now we have, golf carts getting regular, like Halloween, different holidays like that. We have the farmers already use them, and they put the little plate in the back. The people that takes care of the ballparks down at the old fields, I think they drive them from their house with tools all on them. So it would just give us a way to regulate all of these other golf carts in the town. It's going to require insurance, lights, tail lights. They got to be a licensed driver. And of course, y'all can, I think I gave y'all 2 cities that's already doing it. One, Natchez, Bay St. Louis. I think it's several, but I just got 2, and y'all can look over it and see what y'all think, even if y'all want to do it. But I think it would help us to be able to regulate it and help us enforce the golf carts in the town.
Okay. Any questions for Joey on that?
Because they're illegal right now.
Right now, and this goes to pretty much anything. You can't mix anything on a public highway or public road, which is 25 miles an hour. I'm not talking about Carter Street. I'm talking about our 25 mile an hour speed zone roads. You can't mix anything without insurance with something that has insurance. So anything without insurance is illegal.
Okay.
And the key is a licensed driver too.
They gotta be a licensed driver to operate them.
Because that's
And-
the same
and-
concept of a four-wheeler and the
Yeah.
kid getting killed on it.
Yeah.
They can get killed on those golf carts
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, let me just say this, and I know there's a lot of people going to be split on this because I'm not one of the ones. My son, when he was little, he got on these little Odysseys and he would get in the alley and he'd run. He almost killed himself on that a few times. But putting these kids on the highway, where you say, well, the town really doesn't need to get involved. We do because it's public safety. Because what's going to happen if we just let it keep going and everybody says, well, they just let them go, and then one of them gets killed? Well, guess what? They're going to want us to blame the town because we didn't enforce. Y'all see what could happen, and then it's going to be the town did not do what they were supposed to do, stopping those kids, making them get on those four-wheelers and golf carts and get on these highways. They should have enforced it. Well, right now there's nothing really regulating, and I appreciate Joy going and reaching out to these different communities, getting some sample ordinances for us to look at and to consider doing that. And again, this is not to knock anybody whose kids are currently out there on four-wheelers. We're trying to protect the town and also and give good public safety to our citizens. I hope everybody understands that and don't look at this in a negative light. This is a positive thing, in my opinion. So,
This is strictly for golf carts.
Yeah, one town has golf carts and off-road vehicles,
Like side by side.
side by side, but I'm really not, I would like to stay away from that and just stick with golf carts.
Okay.
I think Natchez is strictly golf carts. Bay St. Louis allows both, but I don't think we need to get into that part. I think we just need to stay with golf carts.
but didn't you say earlier that they don't want you mixing things that's not
They would still have to
insurable?
require insurance. They would have to have insurance. They would have to come to the town and get a permit with a checklist saying that they have lights, insurance, whatever the requirements that y'all decide to have.
So four-wheelers are not going to be allowed.
No,
Just want to make that clear.
they define golf carts, and it's anything that's not capable of going over 25 miles per hour. So it defines, a low-speed vehicle is where they say it.
Yeah.
A low-speed vehicle is electric-powered vehicle is capable of a top speed greater than 20 miles per hour but less than 25. All right, golf cart is a motor vehicle that is designed and designated manufactured for operation on a golf course for sporting and recreational purposes, and is not capable of exceeding speeds of 25 miles per hour. Equipped with brake, headlamps, tail lamps, seat belts, rearview mirror, horn, reflective triangle, all that. So it's not capable of going over 25. Low-speed vehicle is, and that would be a UTV.
And you were saying that you could use the hand signals instead of actually having,
Yeah, I don't think any
blinkers.
golf carts come equipped with turn signals. So, I mean, we would maybe have to put in there, require hand signals.
Okay, any other questions? All right, thank you, Joey, and we'll look forward to working with you on
Okay.
that and getting something drawn up and getting it to George to put in an ordinance form and get presented to the alderman, okay?
Thank you.
Thank y'all very much. All right, next thing we have is an update on status of our water plant expansion project. We've recently met with the conceptual design, the design engineer for the expanding the water plant. As y'all know, we're going to look at doubling it, taking it to where it can process another $1 million, another million, which is only $1 million, 1 million gallons of water a day. And this is for future growth, and also before, when we had to freeze, there were so many pipes that were busted that that one tank was drained rather quickly, and what caused us most of our problems with our water. And this is going to ensure the future for us having plenty of water availability and being able to get it where it's deliverable to our citizens. But we're going to try to double that plant. Also in this is a pretty big project. It's growing in dollars and cents, especially after COVID. I'm glad we got our substation done pre-COVID dollars, because we saved millions and millions there. But this is something that's going to, I think, is very, very necessary. We've got money, and we've got several funding sources, state capital outlay. We've got water enrichment fund and several other things going on that's going to try to help us fund this thing. And right now, Jay, what was the current price tag on it right now? It's
9.8.
$9.8 million. And it's
Mayor, he's supposed to, engineer, is supposed to be here in December.
at the next meeting.
Yeah.
But I just want to let you know that's where they're at right now. And of course, now they're shooting, it's probably going to come in under that, we'd like to think. But I want to tell you what this is going to look like for our town. Right now, I'm not happy with our water plant accessibility right now. This is going to be like Fort Knox. It's going to be doubled. It's going to be double in size. There's going to be security perimeter fencing around it and have tight controls on anybody coming in and out of this water plant. And that's something I think for our future going forward is going to be very important, critical for our town, for us to protect all of our, it's because You know, that's a very important thing that people just take for granted, like our electricity and water and wastewater things that happen. It's just people take for granted. We want to make sure that we solidify the services that we have and go moving forward to make them only better. So anybody got any questions on that?
One thing I had
Okay.
is, I know you had Eric cleaning up down there by the
Mhm.
junior high. Tell him your thoughts, in my opinion, what your thoughts are about the water plant, since you're talking about the water plant and the expansion of the water plant. How you gonna expand when you got all that electrical? Tell them what your plans are there.
Okay, I'm glad you asked. It's a good question, Tommy. It's, if you'll see where we cleaned out, I wanted to, number one is that's a bad area right in there. People traveling down 131. We've cleaned up and gone into, we own that property, and we wanted to go into the woods a little bit and make it more scenic, but also people going down 131, going 45, 50 miles an hour, deer could jump out right there, or other game, you'll be able to see that a lot quicker. And we're gonna probably do some more clean out. But if you'll notice, there used to be a little car lot in there right adjacent to the junior high. And you'll see where we carved out a little area on there. And then my goal, now this is future plans, but I just wanted to get a visual of it, is we probably at some point moving our electric department down there with new offices. And then I'm talking, this is probably a 5 to 7 year plan, is moving new off, because it's gonna take probably, 3 to 5 years to complete the water plant, to be honest with you. And so this is just a future thing to maybe put there to be good access for them. Won't be in a neighborhood.
And
You
it'd
know,
be next to our sanitation.
It'd be next to our sanitation, and I think it'd be, and who knows, since you asked that, there's one group of people that can probably benefit from maybe electric vehicles, and it would be municipalities, because we're not ever going very far. It's just around town, and you're not going to go over probably 50 to 75 miles in a day. But there's probably, at some point, there's going to be benefit for us to maybe look at putting some of our service units and vehicles just around town in electric vehicles. And that, again, that's just a thought. It's just putting that out there. So just want you to know we are forward thinking, and that we are going to investigate some of those things. So that's it. And anyway, I appreciate you asking, because we're going to do some more cleanup across the street from it. Because if y'all look at across the street from there, next to our barn, we want to clean that up too. But that oil well site right in there, we own all that property around that, and cleaning that up. It also, if we get light to it, it's going to help dry that out, because that's a big source of mosquitoes in the whole town, that whole area. So, but anyway.
Redo the drainage there. It's been a problem.
We're going to look at that, because there's, most of those ditches are stopped up. There's shallow ditches that run through there. Yeah, we will take a look at doing that. And Eric's doing a great job with that, on cleaning up all over town. I hope a lot of y'all have noticed it and seen what he's done. Okay, that's all I have for tonight.
We got to introduce.
I've got to go back to, okay, for lack of a number of votes to get a vote one way or another.
Make a motion with table.
Okay, would you say, that's probably appropriate, wouldn't it be, council? Okay. Alderman Probst has made a motion to table those agenda items. Do I hear a second? Second by Alderman Smith. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, thank y'all very much. Here, a motion we adjourn.
Motion.
Motion made by Alderman Betts, second by Alderman Probst. All in favor, say aye.